Hello everyone, my name's Notepad Anon, and I write games for fun. That was Croatian Turbofunk, and today we're going to be working on an expansion for Hearts of Darkness. We are going to be working on naših ljudi. It's called Home of Our People. That's the title. It's in Croatian and Serbian and technically a few other languages. It's supposed to be a funny because, well, everyone's trying to fight for their own people. Let's see. So, I already got the basic background done. If you see it on the Notepad document here, this is what I'm going to be covering. This is also going to be an incredibly cut down version of the conflict because, fun fact, the Yugoslavian wars are incredibly goddamn complicated by virtue of just having so many factors in it. So it's going to be a cut down version of it, but so just bear that in mind. Let's wait 10-day one. The 10 was finished by Jane. Slav People's Army. Yugoslav's People Army. On the 20s. Yugoslav People's Army on the 26th June of 1991. After the secession of Slovenia from the Federation, the war was shortly lived. And only resulted in a few skirmishes around the Republic, the new Republic of Slovenia. The official and the end of the conflict was the result of the Croatian War heating up and becoming more dangerous, resulting in Slovenia being taken off high priority. I need to double check. Macedonia. By September, Macedonia peacefully leaves the Yugoslavian Union. War ends July. Oh god, what's the exact maybe 10-day war went on July 7th, 1991. It's weird when you think that you say, oh, Yugoslavia, you're saying like, oh, these big wars, Yugoslavia. This was 1991. You know, this wasn't exactly a long time ago. If you think about it, it's 2020 now, so it's been 29 years, about 30 years since the start of this conflict. It only ended in 2001, actually. So this year, it's not even 20 years. This conflict isn't even 20 years old yet. So it's an interesting affair when you think about it like that. So, bloody and restless. Croatian War, independence. Waged hardy soldiers on both sides, with the Croatian territory split up between Serbian minority governments and what. With the territory split up between Serbian minority governments and the Croatian government itself. All throughout the early 90s, Croats and Serbs. Actually Serbian paramilitaries and the Yugoslavian government would wage an all-out war inside the young country's borders. UNPA zones, subs. The young country's borders. At the onset, at the UN, in January of '92. Advance plan, and UN forces seize key zones to keep the peace, as well as as well as end major military operations in the region. Croatian forces were able to retake a large chunk of their country. Take chunks of the country until 95, in which they had fully recovered all of their lost territory and drove out the Serbs living there. The Bosnian War. Now we get to the fun war. That's not fun for anyone at all. In 1992, Bosnia and Herzegovina, how do you pronounce this? I'm going to offend someone in this stream. I mean, was mispronouncing everything. How do you pronounce? Okay, let's watch a YouTube video, everyone.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Bosnia? Herzegovina. I'm going to call it Bosnia. How about that, everyone? You know, let's offend everyone. It's going to be Bosnia for now. Or B&A, you know. It's going to be B&A. 1992. Independence from the rump state of Yugoslavia. Main conflict erupted between Bosniaks and the Serbian proto-state, Republika Srpska. Republika Srpska, which sounds, of course, the Republika Srpska exists in this area. For the state of Republika Srpska. Bosnia is supplied by the Serbians and Croatians, respectively. And I go to partition Bosnia. Siege of Sarajevo. Come to dominate the war in Bosnia. Being a years-long endeavor to siege out the city itself. Actually, I know it has a name. God, where is it? Come on, give me the capital city. I don't know. No, there we go. Siege out the city. Siege out the Jerusalem of Europe. Which was ultimately lifted in 95. I say. Type correctly, Hans. Not that, Hans. Don't get the Flammenwaffe. Oh no, I hit a button. Nope, we don't want to deal with the Dayton Agreement. That's not fun. Lifted in 95. However, during the period of the war, multiple genocides, actually, you know what I'm going to say, multiple atrocities were committed against the native Bosniaks. Carried out by the ultra-nationalist Radovan Karadzic. Radovan. God damn it. Now you may be wondering why am I just like going exclusively to fucking Wikipedia, because this is a cut down version of it, a very dare I say simplistic view of it, because I don't want to go into like graphic detail about this conflict. Again, the goal is to get to the other part, carried out by the alternate government. Government. Or ended in 95 due to NATO putting pressure on the region. The threats of airstrikes and perpetual bombardment. Kosovo War. In 1990. In 1990, various government institutions, as well as laws, systematically cancelled out and denied Albanians from participating in various public institutions. In 1996, Kosovar Albanians started an insurgency against Serbia, and the Kosovo Liberation Army was founded. Armed clashes fully began in 1998. In 1990, throwing the region into conflict. After refusing NATO intervention, NATO decided to assist Kosovo and bomb the remaining parts of Yugoslavia, mostly consisting of Belgrade, consisting of Serbia and Montenegro. Then Kosovo was transferred to the UN Interim Administration mission in Kosovo and protected by the Kosovo Force, KFOR. I know, very unique name, KFOR, or Kosovo Force. And then we get to do the insurgency in the Principal Valley. Another insurgency broke out against the now reduced Yugoslavian government from the ethnic Albanian insurgency of the Liberation Army Presevo, Medveda, and Bujanovac. Bujanovac. UCPMB. In 1999. Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where you got to remember, like, this stuff is still going on. Like, this is... no, that's not good. Like, this is not, like, a thing that is like, oh, well, this happened, 2 decades ago. No, this is, like, still a thing that's occurring in the Balkans. Like, it's a fairly major thing that's occurring in the Balkans. Ultimately, the UCPMB was defeated, was routed by the Kosovo force and Serbian army. Ding, 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 what do you need, phone? Oh. Ding, ding, ding. Only the UCPMB was routed by the Kosovo Serbian army. They are still active. Active today. Insurgency in Macedonia. In armed conflicts erupted in 2001 in Tetovo. Novo in the New Macedonian Republic as the Albanian National Liberation Army, NLA, attacked security forces. Was ended in February of 2001. The NLA's stated goal was to give greater rights and autonomy to the country is Albania in the minority. In February 2001, after the Ohrid Agreement. Weather, we want to do 2 update heading 2. It's one of those things like, is this like super important that I put in things like the 10-day war? Not really. Like, overall, like, yes, it's important, but it's not like, oh, if this isn't in here, the game will fall apart completely. No, what it is here for is to give players and narrators and such the idea of what's happening. You know, this entire conflict was not a simple one of good guys, bad guys. It was a lot of governments, people getting mad at each other and fighting and killing, and nobody really won. Macedonia. Ultimately, okay. Background, how we got here. Okay, so what do we want to work on first? We're going to probably work on urban combat. I think that'll be our first one we really need to work on, so we're going to hit that. Heading 1, expanded rules. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a side note. Side note. Waging war in a real country. Waging war. Who are, actually, no, who are the characters? The characters in naših ljudi. Are individuals who are drawn to the conflict by ethnic ties, usually. They could be attempting to protect a fledgling microstate in a small corner of Croatia, or parts of the larger Albanian insurgency. Or just a Serbian paramilitary force trying to install their own way. Overall, no. In creating characters, realize that this is the 90s. All that entails. Side note, factions and you. If you want harder numbers relating to how to build a force, there you go. Microstate armed forces. And they're going to receive so many forces. .-22. Microstate Armed Forces, 75 points. Ethnic insurgencies, 75 forces points. Paramilitary group, 100 forces points. Professional, actually it's going to be trained or higher. Civilians to trained. Trained or higher. Actually, we want to do veterans or higher. There we go. These are just my two little sidey notes. Feel like I should put them in table 1. Oh god, that's not what I want to do. Normal text. Who are the characters? Nope, I keep doing that, and I keep wondering why it's happening. Factions new, microstate arm. Let me see. General play notes. Your ethnicity is all that matters. Are you a Serb, Croat, Bosniak? Are you a Serb, Croat, Bosniak? Doesn't matter. It determines who you're fighting for and why. The UN is not your friend. Do not trust them. Yugoslavia will not help you. Actually, I want to word this section. Effectively, what I want to say here is Yugoslavia is not very helpful to you in general because it's Yugoslavia. Yeah. Yugoslavia is fighting its own battles. You're on your own with no oversight. Someone is always above you. You may be a leader in the field. There's someone in an office. There's someone in an office waiting to sign your check. This war is not long. The goal is to survive, not conquer. Much. Guns are plentiful. Guns are not legal. Everyone has a gun. They're not people. They're the enemy. There we go. We'll do something like that. Can I do this? Yeah, I can slap a picture right there. We have the big boring stuff. If I do that and put the general play notes right there, I can stick a small picture right there and a big one right there. Unless I want to put Kosovo right down here. Yeah, I think I'll do this. Put Kosovo right down here. Picture, picture, picture. 3 pictures, and I can get one right there. Perfect. So, expanded rules. We're going to work right now on urban combat. Urban. In the old days, sieging a city is an affair. Is a years-long affair. Starving them out, building under their walls, and striking them with artillery. Not much has changed. The firepower has increased 20-fold. Urban combat is deadly, dangerous, and most importantly, a complete clusterfuck. Actually, importantly, a complete nightmare for both the attackers and defenders. The outskirts. The outskirts of a city are what many would describe as the boonies. Various smaller townships which have been integrated, mixed with major roadways and supply routes. Outskirts of the city have to be taken to successfully put the city to siege. Each city is comprised of 3 sections: the outskirts, the suburbs, and the core. Oof. Let's see, how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for 48 minutes. Alright, I'll try to finish up urban combat. We'll wrap everything up tomorrow on this. It'll comprise of 3 sections and the core. Each one will need to be taken for the city to successfully fall. Put these cities to siege. Vendors receive a +0 to defense, and most control zones are not all fortified. Various smaller towns dot the area, but few are of import. The suburbs. The suburbs are arguably the heart of the city, where the vast majority of its residents live. Live in one way or another. Apartment blocks, cozy homes, and convenience stores dot the entire area. Fighting your way through the mess of houses, storefronts will make it difficult to attack successfully. Defenders receive a +2 to organization. Actually, they receive a +3 to organization. There are a few points designated for infantry, for foot soldiers only, and vehicles cannot be taken through them. Side note, house fighting. Perhaps one of the deadliest affairs in modern warfare. House fighting is quite literally going from house to house, clearing everyone. Tight corridors, cramped spaces, and well-entrenched defenders make even the most simple of house clearing operations difficult. When a fighting unit is clearing a control zone designated as a housing block, as a housing zone, they will have to roll at a -4 for all their for their soft attack, and a -2 organization. -4 for their organization. For units inside, for a fuse inside of the control zone. Extra nightmares, roll a 1d6. On a 6, on a 1, the fighting unit triggers a booby trap that deals 1d10. It does 1d10 strength damage immediately. The core. Tall skyscrapers, heavily powerfully built office complexes, theaters, arts, everything else a city needs to make itself a city. Every corner is a death trap. Every move is being monitored, and every single step will be paid for in blood. Offenders receive a +6 in organization. Bonus points are unable to be taken by non-foot troops and hazardous. I don't know. And most locations begin as entrenched or fortified. Once the core of the city has fallen, the attackers are victorious, and the city has fallen. For added immersion, feel free to add additional sections or districts to the city that need to be taken to be successful. An example on the district system. Serbian sounding city. Serbian for Google Translate. Beethoven. Yep, city of Beethoven. Is a moderate-sized city containing 3 districts in its core. The theater district, the business district, and the park district. Each one will need to be fought for in a large-scale battle to successfully claim the city. Mamma mia. Seed organization, and we're going to put space right there. We're going to slap a picture right there. Actually, we're going to insert a table. Side note on house fighting. For being a real monster, only platoons can clear a house, a housing district. An example, the district system. Let's have the picture right there. You know what, we got enough time. We're gonna add the reinforcements. Not every battle can be won with just hearts. With hearts of iron and a gun. Sometimes you need additional forces. During the negotiation phase of large-scale conflicts, a side may opt to instead call in reinforcements. Reinforcements from a nearby controlled POI. The reinforcements will arrive the next full round later. Later on the side of the map. The round later at the location, at the furthest back control zone. Control zone owned by the character's faction. During city sieges, reinforcements can no longer be called. Reinforcements are stuck in the city until the conflict is resolved. For defenders, reinforcements are stuck in the city until the conflict is resolved for the defenders. During the next, after the large-scale combat has reached the core, no more reinforcements may be called. Once the outskirts are taken, only a platoon can be called in to reinforce. After the large-scale conflict has reached the core, no more reinforcements may be called. Alright. Yeah, I know this is a fairly simple system, but you could argue that this expansion's adding a lot more things for what the fuck? Okay. Okay. This is mostly for large-scale combat. That's kind of a big deal for this one. But I'm also going to be adding a little bit more stuff for the faction in particular. Oh, I should actually add new fighting units. And if we're going to add new fighting units, you know what that means. We have to go to the fighting unit section. We're going to take our new fighting units. Or more accurately, we have 2 new fighting units. House fighters. Organization 3, soft attack 3. Actually, no, they're going to be soft attack 4. No, they're going to be 4-2. They're going to be 5-2. House fighters. Urban explorers and fighters to their core. House fighters excel, closing distance, dealing with enemies in a close, personal way. Special. House fighters gain a +3 to soft attack. Actually, house fighters ignore the penalties for... House fighters ignore the penalties for house fighting. So they're kind of scary once you deal with that, but again, they're not actually that... They're pretty average overall. But you want to get them in the cities, you want to get them house fighting, just because they're going to be able to rip people apart pretty easy in there. Get a solid platoon of these guys in there, you can clear houses pretty easy. But again, it's the idea that you A, only have a platoon, and B, if you trigger a few booby traps, it's like, yeah, your unit's going to be decimated by the end. Which brings me to paramilitary. What's the exact definition of a paramilitary? well, not in the professional army. Paramilitary fighter is a organized closely to the military as possible. Often outfitted the best they can be. What are the infantry? 3-4. Paramilitary is gain +2 organization when being led by officer. Paramilitary forces. Fuse, okay, paramilitary fuse. Hold on. Okay, so here's our basic start for this. So what we have made our way through, we've taken out on this, taken care of that. So we're going to work on notoriety and heroism next tomorrow, and probably the end state as well, and then we can wrap up on naših ljudi. But, alright, everything looks good to me. Well, thank you all for watching. For anyone who has. And I will see you tomorrow at my usual time. Everything will get uploaded to YouTube. Follow me there, Snowpad and on. Thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of your night.